Hi there, friends and adventurers. Heather here from Heather's Hikes and Adventures, and I just want to start this off by saying no, you are not having deja vu. If this video seems extremely familiar to you, you may be one of the few people that saw it before my bonehead deleted it. Oh, so this is my chance at redemption here. I did feel that the video was worthwhile and worth sharing with you all, so here I am refilming it at my next campsite. I wanted to discuss with you all 4 of my biggest, most significant upgrades and investments to Terra, my 2017 Dodge Grand Caravan no-build build that I have changed into a minivan camper to travel around and camp in. I am a part-time vehicle, van lifer, camper, whatever you want to label me as. I am not full-time in my minivan. I am basically every weekend, every other weekend, longer here and there when I can fit in longer extended trips, occasionally a couple of times a year. The rest of the time, I do have a full-time office job that I do remotely from home base. So I basically just get out as often as I can. That being said, I have had the privilege and the option and the luxury of kind of upgrading over an extended period of time as I've kind of adapted and seen what I need, what I think I might need, and what I think would bring a lot of value. So without further ado, let's get into my 4 biggest investments in van life and whether or not I think they've been worth it so far. By the way, please excuse my frizz-tasticness here. We're several days into a boondocking trip here, so this is what I'm working with, so this is what you're getting. But my very first, #1 biggest investment has been in power. I started out with my Jackery 240 Explorer, which is a 240 watt, basically I think 240 watt hour total as well, around there 250-ish. So an entry-level power station. I am going to do a video coming up soon on basically kind of like a power stations 101, kind of an understanding watt hour, what kind of power station or what size unit, what option might be best for you type of video. So stay tuned for that. And, you know, subscribe if you're not already. But I'm not going to get into any of that in this video. Basically, I knew I was going to need something to charge my camera batteries, my phone, my lights, my fans, those types of things. I knew that without a doubt. I wanted to kind of assess my other needs to get a handle on what the best option would be for me as far as significant power usage in the future. But I wanted to start out with something because I needed something right away. So I would like to say that I still use my Jackery 240 Explorer today. I lovingly call it Little Jack, and it still powers my phone when I need to recharge my phone, my camera batteries, all the things I already mentioned basically. I still use it for all of those things because it's perfect for those needs. Now, I did need something a little more substantial when I chose to do another upgrade, so I wanted to make sure I was prepared for that. And I also wanted a way to boil water and to cook at camp. I'm a big baby when it comes to propane and fuel and that type of cooking. I know nothing about campfires, and that's not always an option. So I knew electric was what I ultimately wanted to cook with. I knew it would need to be low wattage, but even low wattage needs significant power. So I upgraded to my Jackery 1000. That has been my biggest upgrade to date by far out of everything. I did wait until Black Friday. I did get an amazing deal. I did combine it with gift cards and coupons, so it was a great deal, but it was still a very significant investment. That being said, I live in Florida full-time. Whether I am camping or at home base, I am normally in Florida, and as many of you know, Florida is hurricane central, and it's good to have a backup power source. So it is a very practical investment. I have used it for power outages at home. My kids have devices that need charged. I have devices that need charged. I need to be able to work, so I need to be able to charge up my laptop repeatedly. And, you know, all of the things that I need to do day-to-day life, and I cannot function without coffee, so I have got to be able to boil water. So my tea kettle's got to work. So I got the 1000. And that brings me to my next upgrade that we're going to talk about in a minute. But I did get another more recent upgrade, as you guys know, my Bluetti that has made a few guest appearances so far, and that is my devoted cooking power station. So again, I'm not going to go into all of the specifics. I've already rambled far long enough about them. Suffice it to say, they have been a significant investment, but they have been worth every penny. I do not regret them. I use them all the time. I am going to continue using them all the time, and I love, 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 love them. So I'm going to show those to you right now, and then we're going to get into investment number 2. Here are my 3 main power sources. So I started out with the Jackery Explorer 240, this cute little guy right here, and I still use it every single time I go camping. I use it for my phone, for my Hot Logic, for my camera battery, a lot of my lower draw things like that, my fans, my lights, etc. This baby is my newest addition, and it's basically my cooking power unit. I am able to use up to 800 watts output with the 800 watt inverter, and it's 716 total watt hours. So it powers all of my appliances that I need for cooking: my electric pan, my kettle, my Hot Logic, my griddle. So this is what I use pretty much for my cooking. It's more portable, and I can bring it to my picnic table or keep it inside the minivan, but that's what I use this one for. And then last but certainly not least is my big baby Jack, my Explorer 1000, which is my first major upgrade to Terra, and for my home base as well, especially during hurricane season and other power outages. But this is now what I use pretty much devoted solely to my fridge, although I am able to power any and all devices that I use as well with this. So this is able to do everything, but I find that I can extend its life and its usefulness if I just devote it to my fridge now that it's getting hotter in Florida again. Investment number 2, I am not going to ramble on about as long, but I love it just as much, and that's my fridge. I've actually done a video devoted to fridges, whether car fridges are necessary, whether I have found mine to be necessary, so I will link that below. But oh boy, let me tell you, I dropped that cooler off at home base and I never looked back. I hands down think that upgrading to a fridge has been the biggest game changer when it comes to elevating my camping game and my travel game. No more having to worry about ice, no more having to refill ice, no more having soggy stuff, no more having to worry about whether it was really cold enough and do I now need to throw all of my food away or is it still safe for human consumption. I love my fridge. Let me show you that. Let me show you exactly why I love my fridge so darn much. Let's take a look at what all I can hold inside this small fridge. So this is actually a little bit smaller than the cooler I used to use as far as capacity. And let's see what all I can fit inside of it without having to have ice. I have a pre-made wrap ready to go, a bag of fresh spinach, a bar of chocolate, a few cold beverages, a whole half gallon of lemonade, a full size of creamer, a frozen breakfast for emergency, half dozen eggs, package of ham, some cheese, some ravioli, So as you can see, everything fits in here wonderfully. And because of this recessed top, I'm able to fit the larger size beverages. So I cannot say enough good things about this baby. So that was the Alpicool C20, which is one of the budget fridges. There are several brands, Bouge RV, Set Power, I'm drawing a blank, but pretty much anything on Amazon that has good reviews, or Walmart, any of those that have a lot of reviews and are mostly positive and are mostly in the same kind of price range with the same kind of specs, you're going to be probably equally pleased with. I have no complaints with mine whatsoever. I would definitely recommend it 10 out of 10, but you're probably safe with a comparable brand and a comparable model if you can get a better deal on that. I went with the one I went with because it was on a great deal on Amazon. It was on a lightning deal and I got it for like 150 bucks. So that's why I went with that one. And yeah, best 150 bucks I think I've ever spent. So let's move on to number 3. A lot of you guys are familiar with my outdoor living space, my screen shelter, my 6-foot by 6-foot Easy Up screen tent by Clam. It's the Quickset Traveler. Again, it's the 6-foot by 6-foot. It's their smallest model. I've also done a video on that, actually a couple of videos on that, showing how easy it is to put up and how easy it is to take down and pack up. So I will link those below as well. But let me go ahead and show you that here in just a second, and suffice it to say that, well, I might say this might be my least necessary of my significant upgrades, and the one that I might, if I'm being honest, say that I objectively use the least, even when it's up. As you can see, it's up right now, and I'm in here talking to you all. So even when I do have it set up, I might not use it all the time. But that being said, I really think that it's made my camp setup much more versatile and much more of a setup. If I drive away to explore, I don't have to worry about the rangers thinking I've abandoned camp. If I'm at a free camp spot and I leave, or if I want to just, run into town real quick and run back, I don't have to worry about anybody thinking I've abandoned that spot or that that spot's up for grabs. It is set up, it's established, it looks like somebody is camped there. So I like it for that. I like that I don't have to have it, well, I can't have it attached, but I like, I did go back and forth between getting the kind that attach, and I am really happy that I went with the kind that I don't attach, because I do like the ease of once it's up, and I can go. If I want to connect it later, all I have to do is hook a tarp up between my lift gate and that, and I think that'll work. I do have that in the works, but it hasn't been necessary so far. I just love how cozy and homey it is though. So let's take a look at it real quick. I know you've seen the other videos that I've done on it before, but here's a look at my Clam Quickset Traveler. It's the 6-foot by 6-foot one, so it's just the right size for one person to set up and take down themselves. It is big enough for 2 people, but honestly, if you were going to use it for more than that, I would get the larger size if you have room. This is what it looks like with the weather/privacy panels on. I only have one on right now, because I really wanted to take advantage of this view as long as the weather permits. And you can see, kind of just to get a feel for how large it is, I've got my Coleman camp chair in here, a folding aluminum table. I normally have a rug down, but the weather's been so horrible, I honestly didn't want to have to deal with a mucky rug to put back in later. Alright, so that brings me to my last, number 4, major upgrade to Terra, and that was my custom fit WeatherTech Shades. It was actually one of the first major upgrades that I made. I was using the magnetic curtains and the screens, and I still use those, as you guys have seen in my recent tours and in all of my camping setups, basically, for the 2 front windows. But as far as my front windshield, my back windshield, and all the other windows, I do use the WeatherTech. I know a lot of people love to make their own. I respect the heck out of people that do. I have seen some awesome creative versions. I have seen some super easy, affordable versions. I think they're all valid. I think they're all awesome. I think they're all great. I am not a DIYer when it comes to certain things. And when I calculated how much it would cost to make my own, after getting the Reflectix backing, making them and edging, and then the time and frustration that was going to go into it, I decided it was not for me, and custom was the way to go. It was really not that much more for a quality product, and it's been so worth it. I know I have shown you before in other videos, but let me go ahead and show you how easy they are to pop in and out. And then I'm also going to insert a little clip here showing you what they look like after dark, so you can see how effective they are at blocking light and keeping you private. You can see there's all kinds of storage options for them. If you want to keep them out, they stay flat. You can keep them under a mattress. You can tuck them in when you're at camp like I do here. Or I also tuck them along the side here and wedge them between the seat and the wall. But just so you can get an idea of how easy they are to put in and out, I'm going to show you one-handed here. You literally just wedge it right on in there. Excuse the noise, please. Obviously, I wouldn't have to go back over it if I had 2 hands doing it, but there you go. And you can see it's upside down, and it's still staying just fine. I'll show you a clip here. I'm going to insert one after this so you can see what they look like at night from the outside, so you can get a sense of the privacy and total blackout they offer. Alright, now I have the window cover in so you can see what it looks like from out here in the dark. And then you can see from this window that's not covered, and we're back to being covered. Alright folks, there you have it. Thank you for being patient with me. If you've already sat through this once and this is your second go around with my redo. If it's your first time watching it, I hope you found it helpful, informative, useful. Maybe it helped you decide whether an upgrade is worth it to you that you've been debating. You know, maybe there have been things that you've just been wanting to get feedback on before you invest the time, research, and money into it for yourself, or you're just not sure if it's right for you. So hopefully, if you're one of those people, this video was helpful, and if so, I hope that you'll give me a thumbs up. Share it if you think it's share-worthy with anybody that could benefit as well. And I hope that maybe if you're not already subscribed, you'll consider subscribing, because I do these types of videos a lot. I don't just mean redoing the same videos. I mean, you know, in this genre here, to do with van life, travel, camping, you know, all those kind of things, especially solo travel. I also review campgrounds, parks, hikes, that kind of thing, and we go on lots of adventures. So if that sounds like it's your jam, stick around, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.